Hi, welcome to my channel, A Better Monday Fasting. In today's video, I'll be talking about how I'm becoming a carnivore in Asunción, Paraguay. And I'll be talking about the changes in my diet and how it goes. So before getting started, I want to make it clear that nothing I'm sharing, it's medical advice, so please do your own research before making any health-related decisions. So, lately, this week in particular, I've been pushing the envelope a little bit more on the carnivore diet because since March 2023, I was on the ketogenic diet, and it worked really well for me, combined with fasting. So I've been fasting since 2016, and the keto and fasting was working really good. And the next diet I wanted to try, it's like carnivore. So since keto, it's already like pretty close to carnivore. Sometimes I will like lean more towards keto. But near the end of the year, like December 2024, I started having some rashes around the neck. So first I thought it was like mosquito bites, and then I researched, I found out some information about keto rash. So first I thought it was that. So then somebody commented under my video, said, you're having like oxalate dumping. So I researched that, and then I decided to introduce some carbohydrates to my diet. So I started eating like potatoes, and so the rush went away. So I was just like, okay, there's at least we know that there's a correlation. But I wanted to, if that's the case, and since I'm like, I'm trying to go towards like 100% health, I was like, well, if I started dumping those oxalates, like it means that I was doing something, like in the long run, it might be something good for the body. Maybe it's not very comfortable, but it's good for me. So like, I decided to go even more carnivore, go carnivore, and when I have the symptoms, be in the mindset that I'm dumping oxalates, but it's good, and if it becomes like unbearable, then I'll introduce some carbs, and I try to go like that. And those kind of patterns I always like. I'm accustomed with my 8 years of fasting. I kind of know how the human body works. Well, that's kind of a very pretentious statement, but I said it. But what I mean is like, I know that it's not always a straightforward line. Sometimes you have to, with fasting it's like that too, like you start fasting, and sometimes you got hit by like a detox or healing crisis, and sometimes you have to break your fast, and then you come at a later time, and it gets better, and then back and forth. So with that, I'm pretty accustomed, that I'm pretty familiar with that dynamic. So I decided to apply the same thing with the oxalate dumping. And so I had a few days after, like, I calmed my rashes, like eating potatoes, but then I was feeling like really, like I lost like in mental clarity, and then I was like, you know what, now I'm gonna go as much as carnivore I can, and if there's something happens, I'll reintroduce more carbs. And I did, and at the beginning I had tiny bit like rashes, but almost nothing. And then I start going deeper. So it's more consecutive days, and I will take out, because in my diet I had, like in my keto diet, I will eat like daily. I make this like Turkish soup called cacık. It's like Turkish yogurt with cucumber, garlic, salt, olive oil, and if I can find it, dill. If not, you can do it with mint or with even with parsley. You can do even with there's those yeah, you can do with a pretty large amount of herbs that work well with the yogurt that have that like Mediterranean taste. So I will eat that, and then I will eat mostly meat. But with my meat, I will also eat some keto-friendly vegetables like onions, like tomatoes, and lettuce, like things like that. So lately, what I've been doing is like I got rid, and sometimes I'll have some fruits too. Like I'll have a fruit session. Sometimes I'll buy some beet juice with some lemon juice, and so little by little I start taking out all the like the more veggie stuff. So I quit like eating fruits, take all the onions. So I will just cook my like I will prepare my cacık, then meat, and then I had this like habit of either having like a keto dark chocolate, or they have this like hazelnut paste. It's kind of like Nutella, but it's keto, so it doesn't have added sugars, but it's sweet, so it has something, you know. It probably has stevia or something like that. So that was the most carnivore I will get for a while. And this week, what I start doing is like I take out the dessert. So I take out the chocolate and the hazelnut paste, and all the vegetables and all the fruits. And so first I had really good energy. Like the first couple days, I had really good energy, and I was like, wow, like, you know, I found, and also I'm still consuming coffee and tea, which is not really 100% carnivore. So I had pretty good results, but then on the third day, I was really, I had really like hard time getting out of bed, you know, and that's a problem that I used to have, and I was able to fix it with keto, and so it was really like I'll be like very like foggy mind, almost like depressed, like in the mornings, and I will sleep way more than usual. So for 3 days this week, I was really not happy, like when I woke up and how I woke up. But even though it was like hard to get started, then I was very content. Like I wasn't like craving anything, and the energy, like it will, as like the day I will progress throughout the day, it will get better. I'll get like and at night time, just before eating again, I'll be like, you know, very productive, really good mental clarity, and because I was thinking during those 3 days, I was like, you know what? I even bought again like those the hazelnut paste, you know. I bought like 2 bottles. I was just like, yeah, maybe it's time to go like maybe one step backwards. But then yesterday, yeah, I was feeling really good. Like I was feeling good. I had a good productive day, And then I decided, even though I purchased those things like yesterday, well, I said, well, you know what, I'm not gonna eat. So the hazelnut paste is sitting there. So I didn't eat, and today I had a really good day. I didn't have much trouble waking up and getting started early on. So I decided, yeah, no, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna keep going. So I'm gonna keep going and maybe try to get even more carnivore, because I don't have any of those rushes, and those 3 days where I was kind of like low energy. Maybe it's just a process of getting used to the. So yeah. So besides eating so I'm doing there's different types of ketos. There's the lion diet, like when you do you eat only meat. There's one with I think it's beef, eggs, bacon, BBGE, something like that. So there's the one I'm doing. It's the well, all kinds of meats, cheese, yogurt, like those, dairy product, and eggs. So I'm doing that. Even though I didn't, since I'm in Paraguay, I've been only eating meat. Like I didn't eat poultry or fish. But I'm still eating garlic. I'm still eating cucumber. And I was so disappointed, because I was just like, right now, like in my diet, I only have the cucumber and the garlic. But then I realized that the olive oil, it's veggie, it's vegetable. Voila. And so then I was like, oh no. And also I put it before seasoning my meat, I put a little bit of olive oil so the salt and pepper will stick. And then I was just like, but pepper too is it's not carnivore. And then I was like, oh my God. And then I'm like, but I'm still eating, I'm still drinking tea and coffee. And also I was one of I apologize, I forgot his name, but one of the major keto influencers. This guy, very very well built. He's he swears by keto. He was saying that he has a video on if I find the video, I'll put it in the description. He was talking about the keto rush, and he was saying that the one remedy was a green tea with ginger. So I did that, so maybe that might have affected the situation too. So right now I'm eating all carnivore besides cucumber, olive oil, tea, coffee, ginger, black pepper, and also sometimes I put herbs in the jajik, so those herbs, and in my tea I put I also like to put a little bit of mint. So, but I mean, those are really low quantities, but it's still not technically 100% carnivore. So if we're going on the healing route, it might have it might actually be important, So that's what now I'm going to be testing. So I'll have my hazelnut paste, and I still have some dark chocolate in case I get a really bad oxalate crisis. I can eat those to calm me down. And now it's gonna be go more keto, and maybe one night instead of eating the jajik, I just eat yogurt, plain Turkish raw yogurt. I eat that, and I don't use the olive oil to season the meat. Maybe I try to do something with butter, You know, maybe I melt some butter and then try to stick the meat that way. Stick the salt and not use pepper. So that's all. That's my margin of progress. Like I can still go more deeper in the carnivore diet that way, and also like the days, because like honestly yesterday when I woke up I was just like, oh, okay, now I'm just gonna come back to eating carbs, because I could not like sleep like 10 hours 12 hours a day and then wake up really late. I mean, it started affecting my routine, my work routine, my productivity. And so I was just like, I cannot. But since today I woke up, I didn't have a problem to wake up, and I'm like, now I'm good. Like I don't have any cravings. Like even though I have those, that's pretty ballsy, I have like those 2 pots of the delicious treat. But yesterday I didn't touch it, and today I look forward to break my fast and eat my carnivore meal, but I don't look forward to dessert. Like so I have 2 axes where I can work on. It's like more consecutive days of my almost carnivore diet, and then try to make progress to go more towards full-on carnivore diet to have that experience. Because my thing is, so with all this experience, and also I've been following this guy like Max German. I suspect him to be from Australia, like the accent, like from Australia, maybe Scotland, but it sounds like kind of Aussie to me, but I might be wrong. So he has a lot of good videos, and I still have to read his book. Like he has a free book, so I'll be reading that. But my question now is like, because I come from fasting, and fasting has changed my life, and I have healed an enormous amount of conditions. My life, I'm a total different person, my happiness levels have skyrocketed. I made big decisions. I moved from Europe to Latin America, and have absolutely zero regret. On the contrary, I feel like I saved my life. Like, I mean, it feels like the fasting has helped me project myself into the future. And so my question is, I mean, it's all good, all those diets and all those people swearing by keto or carnivore, and I understand that at one point you need to eat something, but is it really better than fasting? Because they sell you the carnivore diet to heal yourself, but is it really better than dry fasting 10 days? Like that's kind of my question. Or it's a fun way to heal, because you're still you're eating meat, so it's like, so that's where I'm at right now. Does it really have something more than fasting in terms of healing? Or it just makes it gives a great solution for people who are scared of fasting, or lack of motivation, because fasting is like not eating anything. So when somebody tells you, you're going to be eating like a big steak all day and all that, well, it's more motivating. It's more motivating. That's a more motivating, like that's something in the short term, like you're looking more forward to it than a guy like me who's telling you, don't eat anything, don't drink, dry fast. So that's kind of what I want to kind of experiment, and even if it's not as powerful as fasting, I mean, it can still be a great tool. It's if with a strict carnivore diet you're healing, well, then you do fasting and carnivore, strict carnivore. So then, you're healing while you're fasting, and then when you're eating, you're not accumulating all this like sugars to your liver and like. So yeah, that can be it. I mean, but so far, like what I find like the most impressive, what impresses me the most with the carnivore diet so far, it's that, I'm sure you've been there before. When I used to eat up like everything, it's like you go to a restaurant, you have maybe you have maybe you start with a soup, then you have a salad, you have some appetizers, and one food call for the other one. Maybe you will just get into the restaurant, like for example in my country, Turkey, we love starting with soup, especially when it's the winter. You go and you start with the soup, but then the soup is not enough, so then you'll have some appetizers, and then the appetizers, they call for something more, more comforting. So then you'll have a meal with carbohydrates, protein, all that, like a full-on meal. And once you're done with the meal, then you're like, oh, I need something sweet, and then you'll have a dessert. Then you're like, oh, but this is too sugary, I need tea. So you'll have some Turkish tea, and then maybe later on, like to digest, you'll have coffee. But now that you had coffee, you need something sweet, so maybe you'll have some ice cream. And now that you have the ice cream, like you're thirsty, so you'll have some water. So it's like this chain of like one food item calling the other, and you never being satisfied. And I've been there, and it's fun. I mean, it's really fun. Like, but I don't know if it's really fun for your organs and your body. And what I find so far in my experience with carnivore, it's that how content you are, how satisfied you are with just pretty much meat, and it satisfies you when you're eating it. You're really happy, and then throughout the day I have zero cravings. Even there's some days I was like, because I also do like electrolyte, sugarless electrolyte powder with some lemon juice and some apple cider vinegar. That too. It's not technically, it's not keto, but that's before my workouts. It really helps me. And sometimes I'll have tea when I'm also a musician, so I will in the morning I'll be running the set. I'll be playing some music, and if it's a day I'm running the set, I'm running the songs, I like to have my tea. It also helps with the vocals and all that. But you know what? Since I'm doing the carnivore, I mean, I just feel content. It's almost like the batteries are full. I have energy, and I don't have cravings. So in that sense, it's very powerful. And on those 3 last days, I mean, I'll always, like when I finish my meal, I'll always have like a little sweet tooth for chocolate or cacao, the fruit, or yeah, something a little sweet, like or that hazelnut paste. I'll eat with some tea. And now I don't have it. Like those last 3 days, I'm like, I'm done eating, and it's and in those terms, it's I think can be very powerful, because to me it sounds like you're eating really what you need. And then it's gonna be, also my digestion changed a little bit, so like I won't be giving like too much details, but I mean, already with the keto, like your stools, it changes, it's because there's less fiber. So, but this was like, yeah, I think I experienced another change since I went on the carnivore. But it felt good, you know. It's like it's more like maybe slower movements, bowel movements, and but more like heavier stools coming out, like yeah. So there's also that's something to look at. I mean, it might be just because, you know, the change or change in diet, or it's going to be a permanent. I don't know. It's like, but I've heard from other people, from Max too, that it helps the digestion. So I'm going to continue that carnivore journey. And I mean, what a better place to be in Paraguay to start being carnivore, you know, because I mean, here we have the best meat you can find with Argentina, and it's pretty affordable, you know. It's I mean, in comparison, I mean, it's still meat, you know, it still has a cost, but comparing to other countries, it's really affordable, and you're getting the top, you know, like top-notch meat quality. And I've already seen, like, this week my grocery bills, like it dropped, because I'm not buying any carbohydrates and veggies that much, buying more meat in a place where meat is relatively cheaper than in other places, and all the other stuff it can be more expensive, you know? So for that, I feel really lucky and blessed to be in Paraguay, because it's great. And also they have so many different types of cuts that you can have some variety, you know. Like on some night, I'll have tapa de cuadril with the ojo de bife, how do you call it, ribeye, you know. Another day I'll have bife de chorizo. Yeah, and I'll do like combinations. And yesterday I had a full. It was like it's like a T-bone, you know. It's a big T-bone, and it fits just perfectly in my little ceramic dish. And bam, to the oven, and then finish it up like more on the upstairs, so you still get the crust even though it's not barbecue. Oh my God, it was like delicious, and it has a lot of fat. So that's also what I heard is like you on a carnivore diet you also need to eat a lot of animal fat. So yeah, we're really lucky. I mean, here I also love like organ meat. I've had some here, but always at the restaurant, so I need to find my organ meat. And yeah, I love liver, kidneys. Also in my country, in Turkey, we eat like the whole, like a sheep's head, you know, like the tongue, the eyes, the cheeks, like we eat it all, and I love it. And it feels, yeah, your body thanks you for it. The other day I had, for the first time in my life, I had some blood sausage, morcilla, I think it's called like that. And that's acquired taste, you know, like I didn't like it that much, but while I was eating, I had that feeling that my body was thanking me, you know, as if I was eating some, maybe I was getting some minerals that my body was missing. I mean, when you think about it, it's blood, so I mean, it's full of nutrients, you know. And he had some salsas. So with the salsas, it was like bearable, but I could not finish it. Like it was just, although I'm a very like organ person. I mean, I have some You know, I love in Turkey the tripe soup, and in Mexico they have something very similar called menudo. So that I love, like stomach soup. No, it's not tripe, it's stomach. Yeah. And also tribes, like we have this thing called kokoreç. So they take like a big intestine and they fill it up with even more like organ meat, and they do it on the charcoal. You know, it's delicious if it's well done. Sometimes they kind of cheat the way they sell it, but if it's well done, if it's generous, if they don't chop it too much, it's delicious. And sometimes I see tourists like in Turkey, they see it, you know, because it's like it's roasting, you know, so it looks delicious, like a delicious piece of meat. So they're like, oh, I want that, and they eat and they're like, it tastes good and stuff. And then you tell them what it is, and they're like, oh no. I mean, if they are not accustomed to eat organ meat, it's so yeah. So that was my video about going carnivore in Paraguay, and I wanted to give you guys a view of the sunset. But I mean, I think we already had sunset. It had been a while, but yeah, it's beautiful. Like, I love this time of the day. I mean, it's summertime here, so we go from like 37 to more like high 20s, you know. And also I think yeah, sunset is always, there's something about it also, I think, physiologically. It's always like a time where I'm often like inspired, where I want to get work done. Like it's yeah, sunset, the sunrise, I think in terms of hormones, it does something to our bodies. And so yeah, so I wanted to share that experience of mine. I'll be pursuing it, and I'll be posting more videos on how it goes. And yeah, I really feel blessed to be in Paraguay, just as it is. And also I feel very yeah, lucky that this whole carnivore thing happened to when I was here, you know. So it's a perfect place to start a carnivore diet, because so far I didn't have good fish at all. Like, I tried a couple times, I'm like, oh no. I'm sure that you can find it, but the meat, yeah, really good. So thank you for watching, and I see you in another video, hopefully.